Before we begin, subscribe if you love jaw-dropping psychology cases, like this video if Ashley's discovery horrifies you, and comment what country you're listening from. Ashley stood in front of her bedroom mirror, adjusting her blazer for what felt like the 100th time. At 24, she had never imagined how difficult it would be to leave her 3-month-old daughter for a full workday. Baby Emily slept peacefully in her crib nearby, tiny fists curled against her cheeks, completely unaware that today would mark a significant change in their routine. "You're overthinking this," Ashley murmured to herself, applying one final coat of lipstick, a shade she hadn't worn since before pregnancy. Lisa knows what she's doing. She's always been amazing with babies. The decision to have her 28-year-old sister Lisa babysit had seemed perfect. Lisa worked as a registered nurse at the local hospital but had graciously taken unpaid leave to help Ashley transition back to work. "Family helps family," Lisa had said when Ashley first broached the subject. "Besides, I could use a break from the hospital chaos." Ashley descended the stairs, finding Lisa already in the kitchen, methodically preparing bottles and organizing baby supplies with military precision. Her sister looked immaculate as always, blonde hair pulled back in a neat bun, makeup flawless despite the early hour, wearing a soft blue sweater that complemented her eyes. "Morning, Mama," Lisa chirped, looking up from the bottle warmer. "Ready for your big day back in the corporate world?" "As ready as I'll ever be," Ashley replied, settling down with her breast pump at the kitchen table. This had become their morning ritual. Ashley would pump milk while Lisa prepared everything Emily would need for the day. "You're sure you don't mind doing this?" "I know it's a lot to ask." Lisa waved dismissively. "Are you kidding? I love spending time with Emily. She's such a perfect little angel. Aren't you, sweetheart?" She cooed toward the baby monitor, through which they could hear Emily's soft morning sounds. As Ashley pumped, she watched her sister move around the kitchen with practiced efficiency. Lisa had always been the organized one, the one who planned ahead, the one everyone turned to in a crisis. When their parents died in a car accident 5 years ago, Lisa had handled all the arrangements, supporting Ashley through her grief while seemingly managing her own with stoic grace. "I pumped extra last night, so there should be plenty," Ashley said, sealing the storage bags. "She usually takes about 4 ounces every 3 hours, but sometimes—" "Ashley, relax," Lisa interrupted gently, placing a reassuring hand on her sister's shoulder. "I've got this. Emily and I are going to have a wonderful day together. You just focus on getting back into the swing of things at work." 20 minutes later, Ashley kissed Emily goodbye, inhaling that sweet baby smell one last time before handing her over to Lisa. Her sister cradled the infant with natural ease, already humming a soft lullaby as Ashley gathered her purse and laptop bag. "Call if you need anything," Ashley said from the doorway. "Anything at all." "We'll be fine," Lisa assured her. "Won't we, little one? We're going to have so much fun today." The first week back at work passed in a blur of meetings, catch-up sessions, and the constant underlying anxiety of being away from Emily. But each evening when Ashley returned home, she found her daughter content and well cared for. Lisa would provide detailed reports of Emily's day, nap times, feeding schedules, diaper changes, all meticulously tracked. "She was an absolute angel," Lisa would say, sometimes reluctantly handing Emily back to Ashley. "We read stories," I sang to her, "she smiled so much today. I think she's really warming up to me." By the second week, Ashley began to notice small things that seemed off. For one, Emily never seemed particularly hungry when Ashley got home, despite Lisa's reports that she'd finished all the pumped milk. The bottles Ashley left were consistently empty, but Emily would often refuse her evening nursing session. "Maybe she's just not as hungry because she ate so well during the day," Lisa suggested when Ashley mentioned it. Growing babies have unpredictable appetites. There were other oddities too. Ashley would find Emily's clothes changed from what she dressed her in that morning, always into outfits Ashley didn't remember buying. When she asked about it, Lisa would laugh and say, "Oh, she had a little accident. I picked up a few things for her at the store." "You don't mind, do you?" "I just couldn't resist how cute they were." The new clothes were beautiful, expensive-looking dresses with matching accessories, tiny shoes that Emily was too young to wear, elaborate headbands with oversized bows. They seemed more suited for photographs than for a 3-month-old's daily comfort. "Lisa, you really don't need to buy things for Emily," Ashley said one evening, finding yet another new outfit in the diaper bag. I appreciate it, but we have plenty of clothes. I know, Lisa replied, but her tone carried a slight edge. I just see something cute and think of her. Is that so wrong? I love spoiling my niece. Ashley also began to notice that Emily seemed different on weekends when Lisa wasn't around. More fussy, less settled, as if she was missing something, or someone. When Ashley mentioned this to her husband Mark, he suggested maybe Emily was just adjusting to the change in routine. Lisa's great with her, Mark said. Look how calm Emily is when she's around. Maybe she's just getting attached to her aunt. That's normal, right? But it didn't feel normal to Ashley. There was something about the way Lisa looked at Emily, the way she held her just a moment too long when Ashley reached to take her back, the way she seemed almost reluctant to leave at the end of each day. 3 weeks into the arrangement, Ashley's unease had grown into something more concrete. She began paying closer attention to Lisa's behavior, noting things she'd previously dismissed as sisterly affection. Lisa had started arriving earlier each morning, sometimes before Ashley had even finished getting ready. I thought I'd help with the morning routine, she'd explain, already reaching for Emily before Ashley had a chance to spend those precious few minutes with her daughter. The goodbye ritual had also changed. Lisa would take Emily to another room while Ashley gathered her things, claiming the baby got upset seeing her mother leave. It's easier on both of you this way, Lisa insisted. But Ashley missed those final moments of connection before starting her workday. One morning, Ashley forgot her phone and returned home unexpectedly to retrieve it. As she opened the front door, she heard Lisa's voice coming from the living room, not talking to Emily in the usual baby talk, but speaking in full sentences as if carrying on a conversation. Mommy has to work so hard, doesn't she, sweetheart? But don't worry, I'm here. I'll always be here for you. Mommy Lisa loves you so much. Ashley froze in the hallway. Mommy Lisa? The words sent a chill down her spine, but when she entered the living room, Lisa was simply changing Emily's diaper, humming softly. Oh. You startled me, Lisa said, looking up with a bright smile. Forget something? Just my phone, Ashley replied, trying to shake off the uneasy feeling. Had she misheard? The phrase echoed in her mind all day at work. That evening, Ashley decided to test her suspicions. She positioned her laptop to record the living room while Lisa thought she was upstairs getting ready for work. What she saw on the footage later that night made her blood run cold. Lisa was sitting in Ashley's favorite rocking chair, the one where Ashley nursed Emily each morning and evening, cradling the baby and speaking in hushed, intimate tones. Mama's here, baby girl. Mama's not going anywhere. That other lady, she leaves you every day, but Mama Lisa stays. Mama Lisa loves you more than anyone else ever could. Ashley watched in horror as Lisa kissed Emily's forehead with an intensity that seemed far beyond normal aunt affection. The way she held the baby, the way she whispered to her, the possessive tone in her voice, it was all wrong. But what disturbed Ashley most was Emily's response. The baby seemed completely content, even reaching up to touch Lisa's face with her tiny hand. Ashley had never seen Emily so relaxed with anyone except herself and Mark. Ashley's paranoia reached a breaking point the following week. She'd been making excuses to come home early, hoping to catch Lisa in whatever she was doing that was making Ashley's maternal instincts scream warnings. Each time, however, Lisa seemed to be behaving normally, reading to Emily, playing with toys, following the routine they'd established. On Thursday afternoon, Ashley decided to leave work without calling ahead. She told her assistant she felt sick and would be working from home the rest of the day. As she drove through her neighborhood, she noticed Lisa's car still in the driveway, which was expected. What wasn't expected were the soft sounds of crying coming from upstairs as she entered through the front door. Emily was crying, not the sharp, demanding wails of hunger or discomfort, but the persistent, tired crying of a baby who needed comfort. Ashley's heart clenched. Why wasn't Lisa responding? She'd always been so attentive. Ashley climbed the stairs quietly, following the sound to the nursery. What she saw through the crack in the door made her knees nearly buckle. Lisa was sitting in the nursing chair Ashley used each morning and evening, her chair, with Emily at her breast. Not bottle feeding. Breastfeeding. Lisa had somehow positioned Emily to nurse from her, and she was whispering the same disturbing phrases Ashley had heard on the recording. Shoo, baby girl. Mama's here. Mama's feeding you. This is what real love feels like. Mama will never leave you like she does. Mama's milk is better, isn't it? You know who really loves you. Ashley's vision blurred. Her sister was breastfeeding her baby. Her sister, who had never been pregnant, was somehow lactating and feeding Emily while speaking to her as if she were her own child. The implications crashed over Ashley like a wave. This explained why Emily was never hungry when Ashley came home. This explained the new clothes, the possessive behavior, the way Emily seemed more attached to Lisa than was natural. Ashley backed away from the door silently, her heart pounding so loud she was sure Lisa would hear it. She crept downstairs and waited, trying to process what she'd witnessed while listening to the soft murmur of Lisa's voice continuing upstairs. 20 minutes later, Lisa came down carrying a content, sleepy Emily. She showed no sign of awareness that anything was wrong. "Oh. You're home early," Lisa said, her voice perfectly normal. Emily just finished eating. She was a little fussy today, but she's fine now. Ashley forced herself to speak normally, though her voice sounded strange to her own ears. "I wasn't feeling well. Thought I'd work from home this afternoon." "Of course. Poor thing." Lisa's concern seemed genuine as she handed Emily over. "Maybe you should rest. Emily and I were just fine. She had a good long nap and ate really well." Ashley took her daughter, noting how content Emily seemed, how her little body was completely relaxed. No signs of distress, no indication that anything unusual had occurred. If Ashley hadn't seen it herself, she would never have suspected. That night, after Mark had gone to bed, Ashley sat in Emily's nursery, nursing her daughter and trying to make sense of what she'd witnessed. How was Lisa able to breastfeed? How long had this been going on? And most terrifying of all, what else was Lisa doing that Ashley didn't know about? Ashley barely slept that night. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw the image of Lisa nursing Emily, heard her sister's voice claiming to be Emily's mother. By morning, she had decided she needed answers, no matter how uncomfortable the conversation would be. She called in sick to work and waited for Lisa to arrive. Her sister appeared at the usual time, looking fresh and cheerful, carrying a new toy for Emily, an expensive-looking stuffed elephant. "Another gift?" Ashley asked, trying to keep her tone light. "I saw it and thought of her," Lisa replied, not meeting Ashley's eyes. "She's been reaching for things more lately. I thought she might like the texture." They went through their normal morning routine, but Ashley was watching everything more carefully now. The way Lisa's hands lingered when she touched Emily. The way she positioned herself between Ashley and the baby during conversations. The subtle ways she took control of Emily's care even when Ashley was present. After Ashley finished pumping, she made her decision. "Lisa, we need to talk." Her sister looked up from where she was tickling Emily's feet, making the baby gurgle with delight. "Of course. What's on your mind?" Ashley sat down across from her sister, clasping her hands to stop them from shaking. "I came home early yesterday." Lisa's expression didn't change, but Ashley caught the almost imperceptible stiffening of her shoulders. "Oh. Feeling better now? I saw you upstairs." "In the nursery." For a long moment, neither sister spoke. Emily continued to babble happily, oblivious to the tension filling the room. Finally, Lisa's composure cracked. Her face crumpled, and tears began streaming down her cheeks. "I can explain," she whispered. "Please do," Ashley said, though part of her wasn't sure she wanted to hear the explanation. Lisa's sobs came harder now, her whole body shaking. "I never meant for it to go this far. I love her so much, Ashley. More than I've ever loved anything in my life." "That doesn't explain how you were able to, how you were nursing her." Lisa looked up, her eyes red and desperate. "Hormones. I've been taking hormones to induce lactation. It's possible, I researched it extensively. Women who adopt babies sometimes do it to bond with their children." Ashley felt sick. "Lisa, Emily isn't your child." "But she could be." Lisa's voice rose desperately. "You work all day. You miss everything, her first smile, the way she laughs when I sing to her, how she reaches for me when she's scared. I'm the one who's here. I'm the one who knows her favorite songs, her sleeping positions, what makes her happy. You're her aunt. That's different from being her mother." "Is it?" Lisa's tears had stopped, replaced by something harder in her expression. Who feeds her more, you or me? Who spends more time with her? Who does she turn to for comfort? Ashley felt a chill run down her spine. What are you saying? I'm saying that Emily knows who really loves her. She's more attached to me than she is to you, and you know it. The words hit Ashley like physical blows. Part of her feared Lisa might be right. Emily did seem calmer with Lisa, more content. But that didn't make Lisa her mother. Lisa, you need help. This isn't normal behavior. Her sister's laugh was bitter. Normal? Nothing about my life has been normal. Do you know what it's like to watch your younger sister get everything you've always wanted? Marriage, a baby, a perfect little family? You could have those things too. No, I can't. Lisa's voice broke again. I've been trying for years, Ashley. Years of fertility treatments, failed relationships, watching everyone else get pregnant while my body refuses to cooperate. The doctors say it's unlikely I'll ever conceive naturally. Ashley felt a wave of sympathy, but it was quickly overshadowed by fear. That doesn't give you the right to take my daughter. I'm not taking her. I'm loving her. More than you do, apparently, since you're so eager to leave her every day. The accusation stung because it touched on Ashley's own guilt about returning to work. I have to work. We need the income. You have choices. You could work part-time, work from home, find another way. But you choose to leave her. Every day, you choose to leave her with me. Over the following days, Ashley tried to process Lisa's confession while maintaining the appearance of normalcy. She couldn't bring herself to fire Lisa immediately, who would watch Emily on such short notice. But she also couldn't shake the feeling that there were still things Lisa wasn't telling her. Ashley started paying attention to Lisa's social media accounts, something she'd never done before. What she found there made her stomach drop. Lisa had been posting photos of Emily constantly, far more than Ashley posted herself. But these weren't typical aunt photos. They were intimate shots, Emily sleeping in Lisa's arms, Emily wearing the expensive outfits Lisa had bought, Emily smiling up at Lisa during what appeared to be feeding time. The captions were even more disturbing. My little angel had such a good day with Mama. Nothing better than snuggles with my baby girl. Mama's girl knows who loves her most. Lisa was presenting herself as Emily's mother on social media. Ashley scrolled back through weeks of posts, finding dozens of photos and comments that painted Lisa as the primary caregiver, the real parent, while Ashley was barely mentioned. But the most chilling discovery came when Ashley looked at Lisa's Facebook friends list and found comments from mutual acquaintances. She's such a natural mother. Lisa, Emily looks just like you. You're so lucky to have such a beautiful daughter. Lisa hadn't corrected any of these comments. In fact, she'd liked and responded to them as if they were true. Ashley screenshot everything, her hands shaking as the scope of Lisa's deception became clear. Her sister hadn't just been playing house, she'd been actively constructing a false narrative in which Emily was her child. That evening, Ashley confronted Lisa with the social media evidence. You've been telling people Emily is your daughter. Lisa looked at the screenshots Ashley thrust at her, her face cycling through emotions, guilt, defiance, desperation. I never said she was mine, Lisa said finally. I just didn't correct people when they assumed. You called yourself her mama. In dozens of posts. I am like a mama to her. I spend more time with her than you do. Ashley felt her patience snap. Stop saying that. I'm her mother. I carried her for 9 months, I gave birth to her, I feed her. Do you? Lisa interrupted. Because from what I can see, I feed her more than you do these days. The conversation was spinning out of control, but Ashley pressed on. This has to stop, Lisa. The hormones, the social media posts, everything. It's not healthy. Lisa's expression hardened. What's not healthy is a mother who abandons her baby every day to go play businesswoman. I'm not abandoning her. I'm working to support my family. Are you? Or are you working because you miss your old life? Because having a baby is harder than you expected? Ashley stared at her sister, seeing a stranger. How can you say that to me? Because it's true, isn't it? You thought having a baby would be all Instagram moments and cute outfits. You didn't expect the sleepless nights, the constant needs, the way your whole identity disappears. So you went back to work where you could feel important again. Each word was designed to hurt, and they found their mark. Ashley had struggled with the transition to motherhood, had missed aspects of her old life, had sometimes felt overwhelmed by Emily's needs. But that didn't make her a bad mother. Even if that were true, it wouldn't make you Emily's mother. Lisa's smile was cold. We'll see about that. Ashley didn't understand the meaning behind Lisa's final comment until the following week, when she received a phone call at work that made her blood run cold. Mrs. Harrison? This is Jenny Chen from Child Protective Services. We've received a report regarding the welfare of your daughter, Emily. We need to schedule a home visit as soon as possible. Ashley's world tilted. A report? What kind of report? I can't discuss the details over the phone, but the allegations involve potential neglect and unsafe childcare arrangements. Would tomorrow afternoon work for the visit? Ashley managed to agree to the appointment before hanging up, her mind reeling. Someone had reported her to CPS. But who? And for what? She left work immediately, driving home with her heart pounding. Lisa greeted her at the door with apparent concern. You're home early again. Everything okay? Ashley studied her sister's face, looking for any sign of deception. CPS called. Someone reported me for neglect. Lisa's expression showed perfect surprise and outrage. What? That's ridiculous. Who would do such a thing? I don't know. But they're coming tomorrow to investigate. Well, they'll see immediately that Emily is perfectly cared for. You have nothing to worry about. But Ashley was worried. Very worried. That evening, she tried to think of anyone who might have cause to report her. She'd never left Emily with anyone but Lisa. She'd never shown any signs of neglect or abuse. Her pediatrician had praised Emily's development and health at every appointment. The only person who had consistent access to Emily, who knew the details of their daily routine, who might have reason to paint Ashley as an unfit mother, was Lisa. Ashley spent the night awake, wondering if her sister could really have sunk so low as to file a false CPS report. By morning, she had convinced herself she was being paranoid. Lisa loved Emily, but she wouldn't actually try to have Emily taken away from Ashley. The CPS caseworker arrived promptly at 2 p.m. Jenny Chen was a middle-aged woman with kind eyes and a professional demeanor. She explained that she needed to inspect the home, interview Ashley, and observe Emily. Can you tell me what the allegations are? Ashley asked as they toured the house. The report suggests that you're frequently absent from the home, that Emily is left with inadequate supervision, and that there are concerns about your emotional fitness as a mother, Jenny explained. The person who filed the report claims to have observed concerning behaviors. Ashley's heart sank. Those were the exact insecurities Lisa had been poking at during their recent confrontations. Who filed the report? I can't reveal that information, but I can tell you it was someone who claims to have regular contact with your family. During the interview, Jenny asked detailed questions about Ashley's work schedule, childcare arrangements, and relationship with Emily. Ashley answered honestly, but she could hear how some of her responses might sound to an outsider. Yes, she worked full-time. Yes, she was sometimes tired and overwhelmed. Yes, she relied heavily on her sister for childcare. Your sister Lisa is the primary caregiver during work hours? Jenny asked. Yes, but she's a registered nurse. She's completely qualified. And how long has this arrangement been in place? About a month now. Jenny made notes without revealing her thoughts. When Lisa arrived for her usual afternoon shift, she greeted the caseworker with apparent concern and cooperation. I'm Emily's aunt, Lisa explained. I've been helping Ashley with childcare since she returned to work. Is everything all right? Ashley watched as Lisa interacted with Jenny, noting how her sister positioned herself as the concerned family member worried about Ashley's well-being. Lisa mentioned Ashley's adjustment difficulties and stress levels, painting herself as the stable support system keeping the family together. Emily seems very comfortable with you, Jenny observed as Lisa effortlessly soothed the baby. We have a special bond, Lisa replied. I've been spending a lot of time with her. Sometimes I think she's more attached to me than to Ashley, which worries me. A baby should be closest to her mother. Ashley felt sick listening to Lisa's carefully chosen words. To an outsider, Lisa sounded like a concerned aunt. But Ashley could hear the underlying message. Emily preferred Lisa because Ashley was inadequate. After Jenny left, promising to follow up within a week, Ashley confronted Lisa directly. "You filed that report." Lisa's denial was immediate and seemingly sincere. "Ashley, how can you think that? I would never do anything to hurt you or Emily." "Then who did?" "I don't know, but maybe someone saw how stressed you've been and got concerned. You have been struggling lately." The gaslighting was so subtle, so expertly done, that Ashley almost doubted her own suspicions. But that night, she made a decision that would change everything. Ashley hired a private investigator. The decision felt extreme, but she needed to know the truth about Lisa's activities. If her sister was willing to involve CPS in whatever game she was playing, Ashley needed evidence to protect herself and Emily. The investigator, a woman named Sarah Martinez, specialized in family cases. She listened to Ashley's story with professional skepticism that gradually gave way to concern. Induced lactation, false social media narratives, potential CPS manipulation, these are serious allegations, Sarah said. But if they're true, we need documentation. Sarah installed discrete cameras in Ashley's home and began monitoring Lisa's communications and activities. What she uncovered over the next week was far worse than Ashley had imagined. Lisa had indeed filed the CPS report, using a fake name and claiming to be a concerned neighbor. She'd also been in contact with a family lawyer, asking hypothetical questions about Aunt's rights and emergency custody situations. But the most damaging discovery was Lisa's search history, which revealed months of research into parental alienation, induced lactation techniques, and legal pathways for relatives to gain custody of children. Lisa hadn't just been acting on impulse, she'd been planning this for months, possibly since before Ashley even returned to work. Sarah also uncovered Lisa's medical records, obtained through contacts at the hospital where Lisa worked. Lisa had been seeing a fertility specialist and had recently started hormone treatments, not for fertility, but specifically to induce lactation. She'd lied to the doctor about adopting a baby, using fake documentation to support her story. "Your sister has been systematically constructing a case to take your child," Sarah explained as she presented the evidence. "The social media posts, the CPS report, the induced lactation, it's all part of a pattern designed to establish her as Emily's primary caregiver and you as unfit." Ashley stared at the files spread across Sarah's desk. "But why? Even if CPS investigated, they wouldn't just give Emily to Lisa." "Not immediately, no. But if she could establish a pattern of neglect, if she could document Emily's attachment to her, if she could present herself as the stable alternative, stranger things have happened. And even if she didn't succeed legally, she could make your life hell in the process." The evidence was overwhelming, but Ashley still struggled to believe her sister could be so calculating, so cruel. This was the woman who had held Ashley's hand at their parents' funeral, who had helped plan Ashley's wedding, who had been the first person Ashley called when she found out she was pregnant. "There's more," Sarah said gently. "Lisa quit her job at the hospital 2 weeks ago. She told them she was moving to care for a family member's child full-time." Ashley felt the room spin. "She quit her job. She's been telling people she's essentially adopted Emily. Coworkers, friends, neighbors, everyone thinks she's Emily's primary guardian now." Armed with Sarah's evidence, Ashley made a decision that terrified her. She was going to confront Lisa one final time and end this arrangement immediately. She spent the weekend planning how to handle the situation. She needed Lisa out of her house and away from Emily, but she also needed to protect herself legally. Sarah had advised her to document everything and consider filing charges for identity theft and fraud related to Lisa's medical deception. On Monday morning, Ashley called in sick to work again. When Lisa arrived, Ashley was waiting in the living room with a box containing all the gifts Lisa had bought for Emily. "We need to talk," Ashley said. Lisa's cheerful demeanor faltered slightly. "Is this about the CPS visit? I heard they cleared you of any wrongdoing." "I'm so relieved." "Sit down, Lisa." Something in Ashley's tone must have warned Lisa that this wasn't a normal conversation. She sat on the edge of the couch, her hands clasped tightly in her lap. "I know you filed the CPS report," Ashley said without preamble. Lisa's face went through a series of micro-expressions: surprise, denial, calculation, before settling on hurt confusion. "Ashley, how can you accuse me of something so horrible?" "I have proof. I hired a private investigator." The color drained from Lisa's face. You did what? Ashley pulled out Sarah's report and began reading. Fake CPS report filed under the name Linda Stevens on March 15, consultation with family lawyer Patricia Kim on March 20 regarding aunt's custody rights. Medical appointment with Dr. Rodriguez on February 28 to obtain hormones for induced lactation, using fraudulent adoption papers. With each revelation, Lisa seemed to shrink further into herself. But when Ashley finished, Lisa's response shocked her. So what? Lisa said, her voice flat. So what if I did all of that? Ashley stared at her sister. So what? Lisa, you tried to steal my baby. I tried to save her. Lisa exploded, jumping to her feet. From a mother who doesn't appreciate what she has. You complain about being tired, about missing your old life, about how hard everything is. Do you know what I would give to have those problems? That doesn't give you the right. Right? Lisa laughed bitterly. What about Emily's rights? The right to have a mother who actually wants to be with her? Who doesn't see her as an obligation to be pawned off on someone else? I never pawned her off. I trusted you to care for her. And I did. Better than you ever have. I'm the one who learned her schedule, her preferences, her needs. I'm the one who researched the best foods, the best developmental activities, the best everything for her. What did you do? You pumped milk and went to work. Ashley felt each word like a physical blow, but she forced herself to stay strong. Get out, Lisa. Get out of my house and don't come back. Lisa's expression shifted again, this time to something almost pleading. Ashley, please. Think about what's best for Emily. You've seen how happy she is with me. You've seen how naturally we bond. I can give her things you can't. Like what? Time. Attention. A mother who actually wants to be a mother instead of playing dress-up in a corporate office. I want to be Emily's mother. I am Emily's mother. Are you? Lisa moved closer, her voice dropping to an urgent whisper. Because Emily doesn't seem to think so. Have you noticed how she reaches for me when she's upset? How she calms down faster in my arms? How she looks for me when she wakes up? Ashley had noticed, and it was one of her deepest fears. But she forced herself to respond. That's because you've been manipulating the situation. Drugging yourself to breastfeed her, spending every day bonding with her while I worked to support our family. I wasn't drugging myself. I was becoming the mother Emily deserves. You're not her mother. I could be. Lisa's facade finally cracked completely. I should be. I'm better at it than you are. I love her more than you do. I need her more than you do. The raw desperation in Lisa's voice was both heartbreaking and terrifying. Ashley could see years of pain and longing pouring out, but none of that justified what Lisa had done. Emily is not a therapy dog, Lisa. She's not here to fix your pain or fulfill your maternal needs. She's my daughter, and you've crossed every possible line. Lisa's face crumpled, and she sank back onto the couch. I can't have children, Ashley. The doctors were very clear about that. This is my only chance to be a mother. Then find another way. Adopt, use a surrogate, foster children. But you cannot have my child. It wouldn't be the same. No, it wouldn't. Because those children would actually be yours, not stolen from someone else. They sat in silence for several minutes, the weight of everything that had been said hanging between them. Finally, Lisa spoke again, her voice barely audible. What happens now? Ashley had been dreading this question. Now you leave. You get help. You stay away from Emily until you can prove you're not a danger to our family. And if I don't? Then I file charges. Identity theft, fraud, filing false reports, harassment. Sarah has enough evidence to make any or all of those stick. Lisa looked up, and Ashley was shocked to see not remorse in her sister's eyes, but calculation. You know what I think? Lisa said, her voice regaining some of its earlier edge. I think you're scared. Scared that maybe I'm right about being a better mother. Scared that Emily does prefer me. Scared that deep down, you know you're not cut out for this. Ashley stood up, her patience finally exhausted. Get out. Now. Lisa rose slowly, gathering her purse and jacket. At the door, she turned back one final time. This isn't over, Ashley. Emily needs me, whether you want to admit it or not. And when you realize that, when you're overwhelmed and exhausted and can't handle everything anymore, I'll be waiting. The threat was subtle but unmistakable. Even after everything, Lisa wasn't giving up. After Lisa left, Ashley called Sarah immediately. Document everything that just happened, Sarah advised. File for a restraining order if you feel threatened. And Ashley? Don't let her back in your house under any circumstances. People like this don't give up easily. Ashley also called her husband Mark, who had been traveling for work and unaware of most of what had been happening. His reaction was swift and decisive. We're changing the locks today, he said. And Lisa doesn't get unsupervised access to Emily ever again. But the damage was already done. Ashley couldn't shake Lisa's words about Emily preferring her, about Ashley not being a natural mother. Every time Emily cried when Ashley tried to comfort her, every time the baby seemed fussy or unsettled, Ashley wondered if Lisa had been right. The CPS case was officially closed within a week, with Jenny Chen noting that the allegations appeared to be unfounded and possibly malicious. But the investigation had left Ashley feeling exposed and vulnerable. Over the following days, Ashley struggled with finding new childcare. Every potential babysitter seemed inadequate compared to Lisa's qualifications, and Ashley found herself second-guessing every decision. Had she been too harsh? Was Lisa right about Emily being better off with her? These doubts were reinforced when Emily went through a difficult adjustment period. Without Lisa's constant presence, the baby seemed more irritable, less settled. She cried more during the day with the new babysitter and seemed to be looking for someone who wasn't there. She's just adjusting, Mark assured Ashley one evening as they took turns walking the floor with a fussy Emily. Babies get attached to routines and familiar people. It doesn't mean Lisa was better for her. But Ashley couldn't shake her insecurities. She'd always prided herself on being logical and rational, but motherhood had awakened emotions and instincts she didn't fully understand. When Emily finally calmed down in Ashley's arms after an hour of crying, Ashley felt both relief and a nagging voice that whispered, Lisa would have calmed her down faster. 2 weeks after the confrontation, Ashley began receiving text messages from unknown numbers. Emily looks so sad in her recent photos. Is she eating enough? Saw you at the grocery store. Emily was crying the whole time. That never happened when she was with Lisa. You look tired. Maybe you should consider what's best for Emily instead of what's easiest for you. The messages were never threatening enough to constitute harassment, but they were clearly from Lisa or someone acting on her behalf. Ashley changed her number, but somehow Lisa got the new one within days. Then the social media campaign began. Lisa created new accounts under different names and began commenting on Ashley's posts with seemingly innocent but pointed observations. Emily looks so much happier in older photos. I hope she's adjusting well to the changes. As someone who works with children, I'm concerned about the signs of distress I'm seeing here. Have you considered that some babies need more attention than others? Not every mother is equipped for high-needs children. Ashley stopped posting photos of Emily altogether, but Lisa found other ways to insert herself into the narrative. She began showing up at places Ashley frequented, the grocery store, the pediatrician's office, the park, always with a concerned expression and comments about Emily's well-being. She looks thin, Lisa would say, appearing seemingly out of nowhere at the grocery store. Are you sure she's eating enough? I remember when she was thriving so well. I'm worried about her development, Lisa mentioned to another mother at the park while Ashley was within earshot. Some babies need more stimulation than others. I hope her mother realizes that. The comments were designed to plant seeds of doubt in Ashley's mind and in the minds of other parents who might later be called upon to testify about Ashley's fitness as a mother. Sarah advised Ashley to document every encounter, but the constant vigilance was exhausting. Ashley found herself looking over her shoulder everywhere she went, wondering if Lisa was watching, waiting, planning her next move. The situation reached a crescendo 3 weeks later when Ashley received a call from Emily's pediatrician's office. Mrs. Harrison? This is Dr. Williams' office. We had someone call today claiming to be Emily's aunt, expressing concerns about her care. She mentioned some specific symptoms that prompted us to call and check in. Ashley's heart sank. What kind of symptoms? The caller mentioned weight loss, developmental delays, and signs of emotional distress. She claimed Emily had been thriving under her care but had declined since being placed with a new caregiver. We wanted to verify Emily's current status. Ashley scheduled an immediate appointment, bringing Emily in for a thorough examination. Dr. Williams found Emily to be perfectly healthy, developing normally, and showing no signs of distress or neglect. "Someone is playing games with you," Dr. Williams said bluntly after Ashley explained the situation. "Emily is fine. More than fine, she's thriving. But I'm required to note the call in her file, which means if anyone else raises concerns, there will be a pattern documented." That evening, Ashley sat in Emily's nursery, watching her daughter sleep peacefully in her crib. The baby looked content, healthy, beautiful. But Ashley couldn't shake the fear that Lisa's campaign was working, that doubt was being cast on her abilities as a mother. Her phone buzzed with another unknown number. "Saw Emily at the doctor today. Smart move. Hope they were able to address your concerns about her development. Some mothers need professional help recognizing when their children are struggling." Ashley finally broke down. The constant pressure, the manipulation, the way Lisa twisted every interaction to make Ashley doubt herself, it was too much. She called Sarah, sobbing into the phone. "She's destroying my life. She's making me question everything I do, everything I am as a mother. What if she's right? What if Emily was better off with her?" Sarah's voice was firm and reassuring. "Ashley, listen to me. This is exactly what she wants. She wants you to doubt yourself, to question your instincts, to believe that you're inadequate. It's a classic manipulation tactic. But what if? No. Emily is healthy, happy, and loved. Dr. Williams confirmed that. Your husband sees it. Everyone who matters sees it. Lisa is the one with the problem, not you." Sarah convinced Ashley that it was time to take legal action. They filed for a restraining order against Lisa, documenting months of harassment, stalking, and manipulation. The evidence was overwhelming: fake CPS reports, fraudulent medical records, false social media narratives, and a clear pattern of escalating behavior. The court hearing was scheduled for the following month, but Lisa wasn't finished. If anything, the legal action seemed to push her over the edge she'd been teetering on for months. 3 days before the hearing, Ashley received a call that made her blood run cold. It was from the hospital where Lisa used to work. "Mrs. Harrison? This is Carol Stevens, the nursing supervisor at Memorial Hospital. I'm calling because we've had some concerning interactions with your sister Lisa regarding your daughter Emily." Ashley's grip tightened on the phone. "What kind of interactions?" "Lisa has been coming to the hospital and telling staff that she's caring for Emily full-time now. She's been asking to use our lactation consultant services and has requested access to our pediatric resources. When pressed for details, she became defensive and claimed you had given her medical power of attorney for Emily. That's not true. I never gave her any such authorization. We suspected as much, which is why we're calling. But Mrs. Harrison, there's more. Lisa has also been telling colleagues that she's considering moving out of state with Emily for better opportunities. She's been asking about nursing jobs in other states and specifically mentioned wanting to go somewhere with more lenient custody laws." Ashley felt the world tilt. Lisa was planning to kidnap Emily. "We thought you should know," Carol continued. "Lisa's behavior has been increasingly erratic since she left here. Several staff members have expressed concern about her mental state." Ashley thanked Carol and immediately called Sarah, who advised her to contact the police immediately. "This has moved beyond harassment," Sarah explained. "She's actively planning to abduct your child. That's a felony." The police took Ashley's report seriously, especially given the documented pattern of behavior and the evidence Sarah had compiled. They issued a bolo, "Be on the lookout," alert for Lisa and her vehicle, and increased patrols around Ashley's neighborhood. But Ashley knew Lisa was too smart to be caught that easily. Her sister had been planning this for months, possibly longer. She would have backup plans, alternative routes, maybe even accomplices. The restraining order hearing arrived, and Lisa appeared in court with her own lawyer, a development that surprised no one but still sent chills down Ashley's spine. Lisa had been preparing for legal battle all along. Lisa's attorney painted a picture of a devoted aunt concerned about her niece's welfare, a trained medical professional who had observed concerning changes in Emily's health and behavior since Ashley's return to work. They presented photos of Emily looking tired or fussy as evidence of neglect, and cited Lisa's medical background as qualifying her to assess child welfare. But Sarah was prepared. She presented the evidence methodically: the fake CPS report, the induced lactation, the false social media narratives, the harassment campaign, and the hospital's concerns about Lisa's increasingly erratic behavior. The judge's decision was swift and decisive. The restraining order was granted, with additional provisions requiring Lisa to cease all contact with Ashley's family and to stay away from Emily's daycare, pediatrician, and other regular locations. But as they left the courthouse, Lisa caught Ashley's eye and mouthed words that made Ashley's blood freeze: "This isn't over." That night, Ashley barely slept. Every sound in the house made her jump, every shadow outside her window looked like Lisa lurking in the darkness. She checked on Emily obsessively, making sure the baby was still breathing, still safe, still there. Her paranoia proved justified when she woke at 3 a.m. to the sound of Emily crying, but not from the nursery. The sound was coming from downstairs. Ashley crept to the top of the stairs, her heart hammering in her chest. The front door was standing open, and she could hear Lisa's voice in the living room, soft and soothing. "Shoo, baby girl. Mama's here. We're going to go somewhere safe, somewhere no one can take you away from Mama again." Ashley's maternal instincts overrode her fear. She flew down the stairs, not caring about stealth or strategy, only about reaching her daughter. Lisa was standing by the front door, Emily bundled in a blanket, a diaper bag slung over her shoulder. She looked up as Ashley appeared, and for a moment, Ashley saw not her sister but a stranger, someone desperate and dangerous. "Give me my daughter," Ashley said, her voice steady despite her terror. "She's not your daughter anymore," Lisa replied. "You made it clear you don't want her. Someone who really loves her should have her. Lisa, please. Think about what you're doing. This is kidnapping. You'll go to prison. Better prison than watching Emily suffer with a mother who sees her as a burden." Ashley took a step forward, and Lisa backed toward the door. "She'll never know you if you do this. Even if you run, even if you hide, eventually you'll be caught. And Emily will grow up knowing her aunt stole her from her real family." For just a moment, Lisa's resolve seemed to waver. Emily chose that moment to start crying, the sound cutting through the tension in the room. "See?" Lisa said, but her voice was less certain. "She knows something's wrong. She knows she needs her real mama. She's crying because she's scared," Ashley said gently, taking another small step forward. "She can sense the tension. Give her to me, and she'll calm down." "No." Lisa's voice cracked. "Every time I give her back to you, you take her away from me. I can't keep doing this." Ashley could see that Lisa was breaking down, but that made her more dangerous, not less. Desperate people made unpredictable choices. "Lisa, you're right," Ashley said, the words tasting like poison in her mouth. "You're better with babies than I am. You have more experience, more training. But that doesn't mean taking Emily is the answer." Lisa looked up, hope flickering in her eyes. "You see it too? You see that she needs me. I see that you love her. But love means doing what's best for the person you love, even when it hurts you. Being with me is what's best for her." Ashley heard sirens in the distance. Mark must have woken up and called the police. She had only minutes before this situation spiraled completely out of control. "Lisa, listen to me. If you take Emily now, you'll never see her again. Never. But if you give her to me, if you get help, maybe someday we can work something out. Maybe you can be part of her life again." It was a lie, and they both knew it. But it was the only card Ashley had left to play. Lisa looked down at Emily, who had stopped crying and was looking around with wide, alert eyes. For a moment, Lisa's face softened with such pure love that Ashley almost felt sorry for her. "She's so beautiful," Lisa whispered. "So perfect. I just wanted to be her mama." "I know," Ashley said, taking another step closer. "I know you did." The sirens were getting louder. Lisa heard them too, and Ashley saw her sister's expression harden with resolve. "They can't take her away from me," Lisa said. "I won't let them." She turned toward the door, but Ashley was faster. She lunged forward, grabbing for Emily just as Lisa tried to run. They struggled briefly, both women trying to protect the baby between them, until Mark appeared behind Ashley and helped wrestle Emily to safety. Lisa collapsed on the floor, sobbing with a grief so deep and raw that Ashley felt it in her own chest despite everything. The police arrived moments later, but Lisa offered no resistance. She was beyond fighting now, lost in her own devastation. Lisa was arrested and charged with attempted kidnapping, violation of a restraining order, and several other related crimes. Her mental health evaluation revealed severe depression, obsessive-compulsive tendencies related to maternal fantasies, and what the psychiatrist termed pathological grief over her infertility. She was sentenced to 2 years in prison with mandatory psychological treatment. The judge noted that while Lisa's actions were inexcusable, her mental health issues were clearly a contributing factor that needed to be addressed. Ashley felt no satisfaction in her sister's imprisonment. If anything, she felt hollow, mourning the relationship they'd once had and the sister she'd thought she knew. Emily, thankfully, seemed unaffected by the traumatic events. At 9 months old, she was too young to understand what had happened, and Ashley was determined to keep it that way. She would tell Emily about her aunt someday, when she was old enough to understand, but for now, Ashley focused on moving forward. The experience had changed Ashley in ways she was still discovering. The constant questioning of her maternal abilities had initially made her less confident, but surviving Lisa's manipulation had ultimately made her stronger. She knew now that she was a good mother, not perfect, but good enough, and that was what mattered. She also understood that Lisa's criticisms had found their mark because they echoed Ashley's own insecurities. Every working mother struggled with guilt, with wondering if they were making the right choices. Lisa had weaponized that universal uncertainty. Mark suggested they move to a different city for a fresh start, but Ashley decided against it. This was their home, their community. They wouldn't be driven away by what had happened. Instead, Ashley made changes that felt right for her family. She negotiated a more flexible work schedule that allowed her to spend more time with Emily. She found a daycare she trusted completely, with cameras she could access remotely and staff who understood her heightened security concerns. Most importantly, she learned to trust her own instincts as a mother. Emily was thriving, happy, healthy, meeting all her developmental milestones. That was the only evidence Ashley needed that she was doing right by her daughter. Ashley stood in her kitchen, preparing Emily's breakfast while her now 2.5-year-old daughter played with blocks on the floor. Emily was a chatterbox these days, full of questions and observations about everything around her. "Mama, why is the bird singing?" Emily asked, pointing toward the window where a robin was perched in the oak tree. "Because he's happy," Ashley replied, smiling at her daughter's curiosity. "He's saying good morning to the world." Emily nodded seriously, as if this explanation made perfect sense, then returned to her blocks. Ashley watched her daughter play, marveling at the little person Emily was becoming, independent, confident, secure in her parents' love. The phone rang, and Ashley saw it was Sarah Martinez calling. "Hi Sarah. Is everything okay? Just wanted to let you know, Lisa was released last week. She's entered a halfway house program and will be under supervised probation for the next year." Ashley felt a familiar flutter of anxiety, but it was less intense than she'd expected. "Any restrictions regarding Emily and me?" "The no-contact order remains in effect. She's not allowed to attempt any communication with your family, directly or indirectly. But Ashley, I want you to know that her treatment team believes she's made genuine progress. The reports suggest she's accepted responsibility for her actions and understands why they were wrong." "That's good to hear," Ashley said, and meant it. Despite everything, she didn't want Lisa to suffer indefinitely. She wanted her sister to get well, to find peace, to build a life that didn't revolve around someone else's child. "If she violates the no-contact order in any way, call me immediately," Sarah continued. "But honestly, Ashley, I think this chapter of your life is closed. You can move forward without looking over your shoulder." After they hung up, Ashley returned to watching Emily play. Her daughter had built an elaborate tower with her blocks and was now carefully adding a toy car to the top. "Look, Mama," Emily called out proudly. "I made it tall." "You did. That's beautiful, sweetheart." Emily beamed at the praise, then immediately knocked the tower down and began building again. Ashley smiled at her daughter's resilience, her ability to create something new from the scattered pieces. It seemed like a metaphor for their own life. They'd taken the broken pieces of what had happened with Lisa and built something stronger, something that couldn't be easily toppled. Mark appeared in the kitchen, having just returned from his morning run. He kissed Ashley's cheek and ruffled Emily's hair, earning a giggle from their daughter. "How are my girls this morning?" he asked. "Perfect," Ashley replied, and for the first time in 2 years, she meant it without reservation. She was a good mother. Emily was a happy, healthy child. They were a strong family. And no one could take that away from them ever again. Outside, the robin continued its morning song, and Ashley listened to it while her daughter played and her husband made coffee. It was such an ordinary moment, such a simple scene of domestic contentment. But Ashley had learned not to take ordinary moments for granted. She'd learned that happiness was something you built day by day, choice by choice, with the people who truly mattered. Emily looked up from her blocks and smiled at Ashley, that pure, uncomplicated smile of a child who felt completely safe and loved. "I love you, Mama," Emily said spontaneously, the way toddlers do. "I love you too, baby girl," Ashley replied. "More than you'll ever know." And in that moment, surrounded by the simple chaos of family life, Ashley knew that she'd won the only battle that had ever really mattered. Not the legal battle, not the custody fight, not even the struggle against Lisa's manipulation. She'd won the right to be Emily's mother, in all the messy, imperfect, beautiful ways that motherhood demanded. And that was worth everything she'd endured to protect it.